I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here at the CPA Stars of the Future Awards with Aaron Davis from Flannery Plant Hire. Aaron, we've known each other for a long time. We've just had the biggest ever CPA Awards that you have been one of the core sponsors of, but also you've actually had some winners today. So first of all, why is this so important to you at Flannery and why you've chosen to support the event this year?
Obviously, look, Flannery, as you all know, are a plant hire firm, and look, one thing we need to do is attract talent into the industry, retain the talent that we've already got, and what better showcases than the CPA Stars of the Future Awards, like you say, to show to people outside the industry and within the industry the fantastic career pathways there are, the opportunities there are, and the ceilings, the sky's the limit.
Now, we've had a lot of interest here today about understanding the different elements of the industry, and we've got now a new award as well, which is to focus on the technicalities of what we're doing. This is changing the way that you have to teach people and bring people in the industry. What are the opportunities and the challenges that we face?
So again, if you look as the industry's changing, machines are changing, third-party systems are changing, so we're needing more and more people with that technical, that digital background. So again, whether it's looking at people coming in from an auto-electrical route, looking at other ways, that's probably a bit of a shift in the industry, particularly around the maintenance, service and repair side. And then obviously also, as plant operators come in over the next 5 years, 10 years, next couple of decades, there's going to be more and more technology and more digital interface that they're going to be expected to use than perhaps previous generations have. So it's a constantly evolving model, and like anything, you need people's skills to evolve with the march of technology.
And with technology, how are you using it to help your business, but also how are you using it to translate into looking how you can support people grow their skill sets? Because, you've focused on that, you use technology a lot, but how is it actually making an impact?
This hopefully resonate with a lot of people in the plant hire sector. If you look at how digitised the sector's been and all these data points that people are harnessing data, and then, as you said, what are we tangibly doing with it? Look, from telematics to looking at the latest systems coming in, you can then, as a business, do a gap analysis and say, right, what are we using this data for? What do our clients and customers want the data for? Right, have we then got the people who can actually, if you like, tabulate, present that data as the customers and clients want it? You can then, like you say, reverse engineer that, do things like gap analysis to say, right, the customer wants this, right, how do we provide that? What's the best platform to do it? And ultimately, who are the people sat behind it, making those decisions, making that data simple, because it's great collecting data, but there's lots of people finding out, what are we doing with it?
And that's why you need that technical support role. And so that's growing. But we've also seen a change in the way that you're approaching the industry when it comes to partnerships and when it also comes to getting people in just to give it a go. Yep. So tell me about that transition and what are the other things that the industry needs to do to change the way that we can actually get people to come in?
Yeah, so again, look, various people will tell you that there's an attraction issue with the wider construction industry, and other people will tell you won't. So what you can argue is lots of people say out there, there's a skills gap. What we like to think of at Flannery, working in partnership, whether it's with your principal contractors, major infrastructure and built environment clients, is if you shout from the rooftops and tell people about the great careers they can have in this industry, you can actually create a skills opportunity. Yep. So for us, it's that whole drive now of early careers engagement, either on our own or with partnership, Construction Plant Hire Association, Construction Industry Training Board, through to the card schemes, through to other organisations, and absolutely key, the projects, customers and clients we work for, If you engage there, you work that early careers, you give people a flavour of the sector, of the industry, let them know about all the careers on offer, like you've heard, the Stars of the Future Awards today. There's some fantastic opportunity for not only young people, career changers, people leaving the forces, perhaps people rehabilitating, from an offender background. So there's a real opportunity for us to say, look, we're here, this is what's available, these are the opportunities, please come and join this thriving sector.
And so as we move forward, there are changes now. We've seen one big change behind us.
Yep.
We've got an electric machine here where you were also looking at things like hydrogen that you've been testing on projects and proving that the mix works and things like that. So where do you see this future skills development and what excites you about it? And what do you think are the challenges we need to face head on?
So again, as you just said there, look in the wider sector now, everyone's looking for alternative modes to fueling and running plants. So whether it's the electrification, the use of hydrogen, hydrogen blend, what that's going to have is a workforce that sits behind that, where have they got the skills to service, maintain, repair electrified plant, hydrogen plant. So again, as the manufacturers run these items out into the industry, we need to ensure that we've got a skilled workforce that have got those future skills that allow us to, say, service, maintain, and repair that plant, because then we've got to obviously provide that service to our customers.
So the future looks very, very much more mixed. How is Flannery pushing forward, and what are the other things you're doing more collaboratively? Because, you know, you're a big player, but we've got a big industry, haven't we?
It's all about collaboration. You know, lots of people in the industry across multiple sectors have, let's be honest, worked in silos historically. I think what you're finding now, perhaps over the last 5 years, and I think we'll see even more of it, you know, over the decades to come, is that collaboration between the manufacturers, your projects, your client specifiers, down obviously to the tier one, the principal contractors, then down the supply chain to say, right, these are the new products, let's pilot them, let's see what the sustainability credentials are, let's run that data, we've got the telematics, you know, we've got all these things now we can collect, and as a collaboration, in effect, prove those concepts work. If they don't, we can go back, test and adjust, bring something back to the market. So it's that collaboration between manufacturers, ourselves, other plant hirers, and ultimately the end user, those customers, on what is working, what's going to work. And again, it's looking at application, you know, task specific. What might work for one project won't work for another project, and it's that continual conversation.
So finally, Aaron, one of the critical things is how you're expanding out from your base. You've proven the Operator Skills Hub model works. What is happening next, and how do you see that changing over time?
So again, look, we've been successfully now running, obviously in partnership with Balfour Beatty, the Operator Skills Hub. So that Skills Hub model now has got over 3 years again of data. A lot of that data shows us the people who are applying for the courses, the regions they live in, and what that's allowed us to do now is work with a variety of specifying clients. Also then obviously a variety of principal contractors, including Balfour Beatty, but I'll go at pains to say a lot of others. And we can then say, right, well, hang on a minute, look, we've actually got a demand now from this region, from that region. So then what we've done is now responded to that demand, worked with funding partners such as the Department for Education. Obviously, we're looking at, again, partnering and collaborating with some of the devolved councils and mayoral combined authorities to allow us to expand that Operator Skills Hub network. So the reach that we've had traditionally in a couple of fixed locations such as the West Midlands and down in the South East, we can expand around the UK to meet the demand that we're seeing.
And so as projects come across, as house building increases, there's all these different changes that go. It is actually about leaving this legacy for a project in a region that can then have jobs and skills for those people that are going to be needed and required for other projects further on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ultimately for us, if you strip it all back, what we're trying to do, shout up from the rooftops, say what a great sector this is, the careers that can be had in it, and we truly believe if you create that skills opportunity, you'll create some positive outcomes, not only for the people coming into the industry, but for the businesses within it to thrive.
And that's what we're doing here at the CPA Stars of the Future Awards, and that's why you're a sponsor. Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Peter. All the best, mate.